Should FINGERDASH go from an insane rating to a harder rating? FINGERDASH starts off with some awesome cube gameplay to ease us into the new orbs that were added into 2.1. What you're seeing right here is the black orb, and it introduces it perfectly. Basic cube gameplay then continues until we find our first dash orb, once again introduced into 2.1, so it introduces it very simply. And the level somewhat gets more difficult by going upside down and chucking in some green orbs, although by this stage, and considering that this is an insane, this is not that difficult whatsoever. With this segment, you can almost call it the third phase of this intro cube section, where we're getting mixed up with teleports, we're getting mixed up with green orbs, and then we're also getting the upside down dash orb. Now, I think that this part's easy just to build up the music and the hype for what's about to happen with the spider, and of course chucking in a black orb to help you still get used to that. Now, the spider here is brand new, and at least for me, this is a pretty tricky mode. Yeah, it puts in some black orbs, but overall it's pretty basic. This is obviously to help ease the player into a whole new mode, similar to what we saw with Dash with the swing. Both of these are super easy, but they're great. Now, when it comes to the ship section, in my opinion, this is carried by the brand new decorations that were added within 2.1. They pretty much just spammed everything into this one section. Now, this can be proven when looking at the show layout, when it pretty much shows only the things that can kill you. It's very simplistic, therefore easy. There's nothing wrong with that, but once again, this video is to talk about the difficulty of the level. This robot section, rather than showcasing the decorations, is to just showcase the different combinations that you can use with the dash orbs, and also showing the orange orb. There's not a lot going on here gameplay wise. Once again, it's just to ease the player into 2.1's gameplay. Now, this wave section is crazy, and I'll give it to them. Considering that this is a Rob Top level, by the way, I'm not going to be comparing this level to online levels. This wave is difficult. Now, I get it even gets more difficult with the little side mission we get given with the 10 mini coins, but I'll refrain from that because the whole purpose of the coins is difficulty, so I won't discuss that here. The level starts off with a 2 speed when you're in the normal wave, and then slows down on the mini wave because the mini wave is harder. Then it alternates, goes back to a 2 normal wave and then a 1 mini wave. This develops flow, so it's not that difficult. It's not switching up every single phase, and the player can get used to this. Now, this spider section, although short-lived, is quite difficult. I mean, if we're talking Rob Top levels here, this little burst of the spider here is definitely one of the hardest moments in the whole entire game as of making this video. This then chucks us into a mini wave similar to what we were discussing before, then into a super simple and easy to sight read mini UFO. And then after that, this part can only be compared to the third phase of the beginning cube section at the beginning of the level, therefore ending us with FINGERDASH. Alright, so now we're into the second segment of the video. I'm going to talk about the hardest moment of the level. Of course, briefly, because I would have unintentionally spoken about it prior. Now, I'm pretty sure we can all come to a unanimous agreement. Once again, I'm not going to be including the 10 mini coins to get the main coin here. I'm just talking about the wave itself, and then the spider part that follows up. I'm going to include both of these as one segment. This wave into spider moment is in the 70% segment of the level, so I'm going to consider this a big choke point, especially for new players. I think that compared to other insanes, this stacks up perfectly fine. Although when you look at the intro of the level, or maybe you even look at the ending, this then evens out to be a very mid-level in terms of difficulty, in my opinion. For the third and final phase of today's video, I'm going to compare FINGERDASH to the level I believe is the closest to it in difficulty. And this would have to go to the other main video that I did talking about being downgraded, being Dash. Now, why am I making this comparison? Well, not only are they both standalone levels when it comes to introducing new gameplay, with FINGERDASH with the spider in 2.1 and Dash with the camera controls and the swing of 2.2. I believe that that also makes difficulty-wise a fantastic matchup, and if you've seen the Dash video, I'll keep it short. I thought that it should stay an insane, although I think that it just deserves that because of how many new things it introduced. So that also brings us to the conclusion of today's video. If I believe that Dash, with all the new things, camera controls, new decorations, and the new mode that are added should just be insane, what do I think about FINGERDASH? Well, I think FINGERDASH should be downgraded. I think it should be downgraded because I've always begged the argument that the insane rating does not build value to the level. It doesn't build value at all. You can have a harder level such as blast processing at the time. I'm not comparing difficulty, just for what the value of the level is. I think that it's perfectly fine as a harder. That's going to be it for today's video, everyone. I think that FINGERDASH should be a harder. So do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. If you think that I'm genuinely outright wrong, please let me know. I'm not going to say, oh, please don't leave hate. Hell no. Let me know what you have to say, guys. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.